But Rachel, to finish my point, since we're all back, I just want to say the medicines patent pool has yet to take up diagnostics, but there has been exploratory mission in order to look at the feasibility of that. They are negotiating, so the first step, a potential license from the Indian CSER, the Research Institute, for a CRISPR-based COVID test. So we'll see how they do. Hopefully they'll have a lot of success so that the case will be made in order to play a similar role in trying to get open or limited licenses from the proprietary patent holders for diagnostics and the technology that undergirds it.
Thanks a lot. It's really, really interesting what you're doing.
So thanks everybody for the breakout sessions, especially thanks to Meredith and Sharon Ann. I hope you both learned a lot. I've been in conversations with Sharon Ann and Meredith where I have certainly learned huge amounts. So hopefully you had a similar experience. We're going to have a quick reflection from Danielle. Are you here? Just on any kind of aha moments or things that you wanted to feedback from the group on your experiences. We don't have time for a full report out, so we just thought it might be nice to get a kind of impression from somebody.
Yes, hi everybody, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I was attending the session with Meredith, I think it's, sorry, I forgot, Meredith, yeah. And so she was presenting to us about the strategies that we can take at the advocacy in universities. And we really didn't have enough time to discuss. We were just starting to discuss like the different points. Actually, Keith asked a question about maybe the difficulties that some universities can have in maybe low and middle income countries. And when Meredith was starting to answer, the group session ended. But I found that the strategies that Meredith shared with us are really interesting, and I want to highlight that these strategies are, I think, are facing away like from technicalities and are more faced to like how to deal with the officials at universities, and I find that really interesting, being that I am a student. So that point of view really stuck with me. So that's what I want to highlight from this session.
Thanks, Daniel, for that great reflection. Meredith, maybe you could just say a couple of words about people who, half an hour is always short for breakouts. What can people do if they would like to continue learning more about this? I mean, particularly for those who are students or involved in academia and universities, what will be the next steps to follow on from your breakout?
Yeah, well, we were just getting into more of the weeds, but I think I would be happy to I can share the slides, obviously, and as Daniel said, we were looking at more of the sort of general ways that you can engage with administrators who are really busy and probably particularly overwhelmed in the middle of a global pandemic on top of everything else. I would also say we started a conversation about, yeah, what the experiences are in North America are going to look different in LMICs, but also knowing that, like, for UAM, we work in a lot of different places, and these are sort of lessons that have tend to be similar across regions. Obviously, the impact of a license in a high-income country is going to look different to somewhere else, but I think it's a lot of those shared lessons that I think that are quite practical to apply. But I would love to talk to especially students, faculty who are interested in following up, and also we can connect people locally as needed where we have contacts as well. So thanks, Jenny.
That's great, thanks. Yeah, I encourage anyone to check out their local UAM and also initiatives that UAM run that kind of are open to people from different regions. So check that out. Sharon Ann, do you have any follow-up from your session in terms of next steps people could take if they want to dig into this a bit deeper?
Well, I think it would be great if Reclone could organize another discussion and meeting in terms of how to capture the voice of researchers specifically for the different actors. So the different development banks, especially those who could be more inclined, those that want to tell all of the actors that are developing new pandemic preparedness and response to don't devalue the whole diagnostic value chain. I mean, in terms of like what to develop, don't just focus on surveillance. So, just capturing the voice and also true engagement, right? And then thirdly, obviously the donors, fourthly, the national governments, and fifthly, on the regional. So we talked about, there are a number of policies that we need. So the crisscross of what is the policy environment and who are the actors. And I have to say, in addition to Jenny, what you have been doing and the group has been doing, it would be great to capture that voice, because we did mention the momentum, right? So probably the most overused expression is tipping point, but are we at a tipping point where finally we have some positive examples, we have the political momentum, we certainly have a lot of words on paper in terms of rhetorical support for local production. Now we need the right policies to both spur and sustain. Thank you.
Can I add one more thing, Jenny? Is that time?
Please do.
Yeah, so I was explaining to our group that we met at the beginning of the pandemic with this push for the Open COVID Pledge, that has been signed by some massive strange bedfellows for us, like Uber and Amazon, these giant tech companies. And yet, even after 4 million people have died globally from COVID-19, there's not a single institution in a single country anywhere that has fully supported the Open COVID Pledge. So, and we've engaged with universities in numerous countries, high income, low income, middle income. And this is where I think there is that similarity, right? That even when you don't have the opportunity, it's really just about sharing technology. There is a real hesitancy, and there's a lot of sort of myths around, I think, how innovation can be shared. So we're still, not to say that we haven't advanced, we're in high level discussions with a number of institutions. There were some important wins as well with the Supreme Court in Brazil, etc., that the movement has been supporting at this time. But I think, we have a lot of data, and we have, 20 years of evidence. You'd think in a global pandemic that people would prioritize people's lives. And we just haven't, that's not what we've been seeing. And I think universities have an opportunity and responsibility to be part of the solution, and we need to urge them to do more, whatever it is within their capacity.
Fantastic, thanks both of you. And I will definitely reflect on Sharon Ann's suggestion in terms of our upcoming meetings and what we can do there to really kind of provide that nudge at the tipping point. Thank you so much for giving your time up to date to come and speak to us.